Grand Rising, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time you're clicking on is the right time for you. Thank you for joining me today for this reading. If you've been with me for a while or you've seen my prior reading on Tory Lanez and the court case that he was facing with the state of California, then this is a follow-up to spiritually tap into the energy of what's around him during this sentencing and possible new trial that he's trying to file for. Now, when I ended the last reading for Tory, I touched on that there will be new developments. There's new information that is going to come out, and this new information is going to be a deal changer, also a deal breaker. So, I saw that his lawyers postponed his sentencing so that they could file for a new trial. And if they file for a new trial, then they get to retry all the evidence. And also, this time around, new judge, new court, new jury, a lot of those things that happened before will not happen this time. Also, I'm hoping that this one is televised, like, court TV style, so that we, the people, don't have to rely on the court reporting of YouTube and Instagram. Even though I appreciated it, it's just absolutely, utterly ridiculous that they would allow press passes for people to release information, but not allow we, the people, who are the true jury of your peers, to see this unfold the way that they would do with any major case, especially of this magnitude. I've already said my prayers, did my cleansing off camera. I decided to change my cards up because I wanted to make sure that this energy is completely clear of anything or any tools that I use on the regular. And I'm going to follow that because that's what my spirit guides told me to do. In closing, before I get started, this case should be of importance to anyone, not because of the celebrity factor to it. Take the names of the people off of this case. Take the popularity of the people away from this case, and let's just say John Doe and Jane Doe. Think about how the law was executed in this case. If that doesn't make you nervous that an affluent person that has means can literally go to court and be tried by pretty much social media versus actual details and fact-finding presented by the case, if that doesn't make you nervous, it should. Because what happens when a regular everyday person faces these same adversities and they don't have the money for a top-notch lawyer? They don't have, the influence to make people say, hey, wait a minute, let me look at this. This is why this case intrigues me, because we need to pay attention to what's happening, because that energy can trickle down to everyday people. So let's see. I'm going to start off with the Tarot Grand Lux. And I'm going to use this deck for Tory. the state of California. We're going to use the Disney Villains Tarot deck. Thought it was appropriate. And I want to do this reading almost like how the prosecutor versus the defense attorney, okay? And we're going to see what we find between the prosecution and the defense attorney and what's going to happen, because Tory's new court date is Monday. So hopefully this reading will be up today, which is Saturday, and you guys can see this before he goes to court on Monday. Notice how hush-hush it is. Nobody's really speaking about this the way they spoke about the first case. It's literally this dedicated group of YouTubers and Instagram people who are the only people who are speaking on this, but it's almost like hush. I've never seen anything like this. Okay, so Tory Lanez defense. Let's tap into your energy. Now we know he switched lawyers. Spirit guides, angels, and ancestors of the highest heavenly order. Show me the energy of Tory Lanez defense. Listen. This lawyer is not for the shenanigans, okay? We've got Ace of Wands. This is forward movement and expansion. This is someone who's going to come in and they're going to push through. Now pay attention to this serpentine figure back here, this dragon, okay? He's ready to go to war with the beast. And notice that this wand is in front of the beast. So this means that he has something. He has something that's going to change everything with this contract negotiation and agreement for the star. Okay? Looks like they're going to have to make a choice on this situation due to whatever the development that he is. Due to the development that he has. This is looking like early on, and there's just 2 cards on the table. This is looking like Tory's getting his new trial. He's going to actually have his real day in court. So this is interesting. Okay, so we've got the King of Wands. Now, listen, you already got the Ace of Wands that came out, and now the King of Wands is coming out. The King of Wands is someone who is fixed and focused and determined. They do not stop until they get what they want. This is someone who has agility, okay? King of Wands is someone who, you know, physically, if you're talking about dating, they would be attractive. But this person is someone who has an attractive track record. This person is someone who is battle tested. Remember, the King of Wands can also wield this wand. The first wand is already on the table. So he's literally here for battle. He's not here to play games. And the interesting thing about the King of Wands, when I say he's fixed and focused, this is like, I don't know if you guys pay attention to horse races where they put blinders on the horse so the horse can run its course and they don't see anybody next to them. They don't see anything around them. They can only see straight ahead. This is the type of focus that this man has. Now, I don't know if this prosecutor is a woman, okay? But it's something that he has that's going to force the state to have to tell the truth about something. It's going to have to be very clean cut and clear from here on out. Things have to be precise. He's going to mop up the gray areas. And if I'm not mistaken, yeah. Something happened with some money here. Okay, so 4 of Pentacles is financial abundance, stability, money for a rainy day. Page of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Page of Wands is not only representative of children and messengers, it is also the news of new developments and new actions to be taken. So, allegedly, if there is claims of bribery, people being paid, people being given things that they may have been given to sweeten a deal or sway things in a certain way, wink, wink, allegedly, there's a paper trail to something. There's something that this man has that is a smoking gun. Damn it, I said this in my last reading. If you go back to my Tory Lanez reading, there is a smoking gun. And it can't be overlooked and ignored. If it is overlooked and ignored, it is a gross miscarriage of justice and it is against the law. Something that possibly could be used to hold... Oh, this shit. Wait a minute. This is deep. So this is something that could be used to hold the prosecutor or possibly the other judge in contempt, or I don't know all the legal terms, but they can be brought to the table now. They can be questioned on ethics now, because whatever he has discovered, whatever this smoking gun is, literally challenges the ethics of the last trial. And it is a smoking gun. I get tired of saying allegedly, but we're on YouTube. Allegedly, he has a smoking gun. Okay? And this smoking gun, oh yeah, the wounded warrior, 9 of Wands. This smoking gun is about this wounded warrior. Now, we know that Megan was the wounded warrior. Also, star represents Aquarius. So, when you tie these 3 cards together, because I'm an intuitive reader, you know, this is that big D energy, the King of Wands, the star, and the wounded warrior. So it whatever it is attached to the truth behind the sexual relationship and what really happened that caused this person to be the wounded warrior. See this? 2 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Y'all, this court, this case goes back to court. This is going to be a juicy nighttime soap opera expose, because there's some very pivotal things that were kept out of the last trial, and also things that were manipulated and turned to appear in ways that it did not. And mind you, I'm no respecter of persons, so I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm not here to stand for either party. But this is looking like there is going to be a new trial, and there's going to be some major developments that's going to come out that we didn't hear about. And it's kind of sad. I feel like Tory was trying to be the nice guy on the back end and spare everybody. But in him sparing everybody, he slayed himself. So now it's no more Mr. Nice Guy. And we're about to start getting some hard-hitting truths. Yeah. Now you see this? Page of Wands. Fell right up under the star. I'm trying to say this as best as I can while being objective. Like, we already know that Megan is the Aquarius and star represents Aquarius. So this is going to constitute in new actions and things that are going to have to be done due to things that happened with Megan. Megan's going to have a change of how she does things. Possibly they're going to talk about how she changed her story. They're going to dig off into what parts of the story are real, which parts aren't. They're going to, wow, this cross-examination, he's not going to play with Megan. This lawyer is going to get Megan on the stand and obliterate her. Allegedly. Knight of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Now, I don't know who approached who, but Knight of Cups at the bottom of the deck is looking like Megan approached Tory. Megan solicited this sexual energy or relationship with Tory by extending an offer, an invitation. Wow. Here's something funny. I wondered why the defense in the last case didn't bring out text messages that showed the full dealings and relationship between all these parties in the beginning, because it was easy to prove, it was easy to prove that she was lying if they just would have took Tory's text messages and exposed them from the very beginning to show the true nature of how they dealt with each other. But once again, Tory was being the nice guy. He was trying to not say certain things to not tear people down. But in him trying to not embarrass somebody, he ended up sacrificing himself. Temperance. Balance through a new beginning. And it's coming under this lawyer. The King of Wands. It's a possibility that once this lawyer gets things going the way that he needs to, there's going to be a payout given to Tory that is going to restore his financial wellness. Now, Queen of Swords, doggone it. Queen of Swords. And I was thinking this could possibly be the female prosecutor. I get it now, because Aquarius is the star. Aquarius is an air sign. So, the air sign, Queen of Swords. Swords are of air suits. So, Megan, you could possibly allegedly have to pay this man in civil court if his lawyer has his way. And that's going to bring heartbreak Yep, fell right under the Four of Pentacles. Oh, excuse me. My apologies. This was the Five of Pentacles. My apologies, guys. So let me go back through this because intuitively I'm still getting the same message. You broke this man's pockets with all of these legal fees, him losing endorsements. It's literally that the laws of reciprocity are now at your footstep. This energy is now at your door. Allegedly, because we're on YouTube, guys, the pain and suffering she caused him financially is going to turn into the pain and suffering that is returned to her. The universe is going to return that energy to her, and it's going to bring her heartbreak because this is greatly going to affect her money. I said it before. People are going to fall back from working with her. It's going to be hard as hell for her to get work, but everything is going to turn around because Tory's going to start getting work. Tory's going to start getting booked again. People are waiting for the outcome of this case because there's a lot of people behind the scenes that don't like what happened, but they don't want to ruin their career by speaking out. So the best way they could reset the balance is to work with Tory on the back end if this case goes back to trial. I just told you, the last shall be first and the first shall be last. You made him first to suffer. Everybody cut him off. He became a pariah because people didn't know the truth about what was going on. You see people cut him off due to this blindfold. They didn't know what actually happened. They went off of, he had to do it. Why would somebody, lie about something like that, right? Because I'll be honest with you. When this first started, I supported Megan because it sounds so ridiculous. It's like, why would he do something like that? And what changed everything for me was when Megan started to speak in depth about what happened to her and her medical treatment. Now, I'm not going to speak on my training or possible degrees that I've had. Because I do have medical training. And when she spoke about the treatment for the gunshot, that was the biggest red flag that I'd ever heard in my life. Anybody who's ever been shot, ever worked in a trauma ward, had to ever clean and dress wounds, you know that you do not give a gunshot patient water, nor do you flush the wound with water without a very strong antibiotic like Keflex or something of that nature to stop the gunpowder from going further into the bloodstream, turning the whole body septic. So when she said that she had she said she had surgery, but the paperwork she posted said that it was an irrigation and extraction. And irrigation means that they flushed the wound out with water. Extraction, they took tweezers and pulled out particles. That means they washed that wound out and they pulled out whatever it was with tweezers. That's not the proper treatment for gunshot wounds. Now, do I believe something happened to her? Absolutely. But do I believe it's what's been said? No. So here it is, bottom of the deck, Seven of Swords. This is sneaky behavior, sneaky energy. This is throwing rocks and hiding hands. This is diversions in its lowest form. Knight of Cups, wish fulfillment. So So he's going to prove exactly what happened when things went wrong, when Tory was offering his cup to somebody else as a wish fulfillment, and this person, Megan, felt cut off. And it's going to change how everybody feels about what actually happened, because there's a lot of details that are being left out. A lot of people were being spared. A lot of things was not said because a lot more people will have to come to court. A lot of people did not want their names or their brands attached. They didn't want to be involved. And this is what I mean by Tory was trying to spare everybody and sacrificed himself. So this lawyer, point blank period, is saying no more Mr. Nice Guy. We're going to have to put it all on the table. If they want to play in the dirt, we're going to waddle in the mud. And now it's about to get ugly. So, yeah. He's going to show that because of what happened, there were certain people that had to protect the goose that laid the golden egg. They had to protect monetary gain. And it's not what people think as far as who was offering, you know, a payout to who. I tell you, this is like the hip-hop version of Who Shot J.R. Ewing. If you're old enough to remember, you know, Dynasty and Dallas, you definitely get that reference. It was a huge thing when JR got shot. It was a cliffhanger, and you had to hang on to find out who actually, popped J.R. Ewing. This is exactly like that, but in the ratchet form. Oh, geez. So, let's see. As far as Tory's lawyer, how are you going to waddle in the mud, so to speak? What are you about to do? What are you prepared to do to show? Well, hold on before I go any further. Angels and ancestors, only let me show what needs to be shown, because God's will is going to be God's will regardless. Let's see. The Hermit. Okay, the Hermit, also with the Eight of Wands, is my jail card. So here it is. The Wounded Warrior and the Hermit. Interesting. Strength at the bottom of the deck. So he's going to dig off into the psychology of this person whose feelings was wounded, who actually ended up becoming wounded because they felt ostracized. They felt alone because because Tory chose to go about a new direction. He chose to take new action. This is Temperance, okay? So Temperance, once again, balance through a new beginning. She wanted to set the balance by resetting the boundaries of however they dealt with each other, but it led to heartbreak because he was offering his cup to another person, which was his wish fulfillment. And this is how she got caught up. Excuse me. I must have meant to say that, caught up. But this is how she got cut off. And she didn't see it coming. By the Leo, Strength. So it's like emotionally she felt vulnerable. She felt cut off. She felt blindsided by Tory. By what Tory was doing in front of her. And I can imagine that could make somebody super emotional, especially if everybody is drinking. You know, you drinking and whatever else you're doing. And see, Tory, he not slick either. This is why I said I'm no respecter of persons. Okay? I'm going to tell it how it is on both sides. Tory was looking at the bag. Okay? Here it is, the star. He decided to have a new action, you know, things that he wanted to do. He was thinking about prospering himself to get to the bag. So when he was flirting with Kylie Jenner, allegedly, he was social climbing. Knight of Swords. That's like coming through with messages of the truth. So like I said, it's about to get down and dirty, because now the truth is going to come out about everything that happened at Kylie's house, how this really unfolded, what the argument was about in the car is going to come out if they take this back to court, if there's a new trial. The actual argument is going to have to be discussed. What was actually said in that truck, what led to what. We're finally going to get to the meat and potatoes of what caused the whole melee in the truck that led to Megan becoming the wounded warrior. Okay, so this is Tory, strength. Also, that's my Lion of Judah card, the hand of God. We've got the Ten of Wands. So also the King of Wands represents a fire sign. I don't know the sign of this lawyer, but this is a double confirmation that he has the weight of the world on his shoulders, but he's going to get another chance. Temperance, balance through a new beginning. Five of Pentacles, okay? Over this Three of Swords. So that's like, you know, showing how this situation broke him, how it's breaking his wealth, his spiritual wealth, his mental health, but he's staying strong. The Queen of Swords and the Fool. Don't hit nobody in front of my house. Baby, listen. Queen of Swords and the Fool. So now they're going to show what was behind, what was really truly behind Megan's behavior. What made Megan take a leap of faith to behave in such a foolish way at Kylie Jenner's house, and what caused the melee in the car. Honey, this better end up on court TV this time. This needs to be seen by the public, because this time around we need to watch it ourselves. It needs to be properly documented so that, you know, nobody can say anybody's playing with the transcript. It needs to be televised, and I hope his lawyer is fighting for this to be televised this time, because all these smoke and mirrors, we need to see it as the smoke blows away. Two of Cups lands on the floor, and it lands in the floor, on the floor trine. So I know Megan claims that, you know, they weren't together, they didn't have anything going, but also, okay, so the Page of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. This is also, damn it, there's a lot of stuff about to come out. He's going to make the conversation between Kelsey and Tory make sense. They're going to explain what exactly was Tory apologizing for, the Two of Cups. He was apologizing to Kelsey because Kelsey was the one low-key the one he really truly cared about. That's why when that card hit the floor, it hit the floor trying, because here it is. He's torn in between these two women due to some toxic, silly ass shit that he done. This is a ditch that he dug for himself, trying to social climb. And it just backfired. Nobody thought that it would go this far. This was not supposed to go this far. They're going to make her tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth about this Two of Cups. Like I said, and it's coming in swiftly. She's being sequestered if they redo this trial. So I'm going to stop there because I was only tapping into the energy of Tory's lawyer. I believe his lawyer is David Kenner, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments. But I do know his lawyer has extensive experience with the LAPD. So he's going to tear everything to shreds. I mean, surgical. With the police report, with the witnesses, with the actual crime scene, with the evidence that was supposed to be taken in from the crime scene. This man is not coming to play, okay? Now, let's tap into the energy of the prosecution and where this is going to go from here, because this is the energy from the state of California versus Tory Lanez. Bottom of the deck, before I even get started, look at that. Justice. And you see how it's perfectly balanced? Now, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that is, my spirit guides letting me know that justice will be served. But we have to see how this plays out. Nine of Cups. Wish fulfillment. Eight of Swords. So it was a wish fulfillment for the state of California to lock him up, to bind him, to keep him. Why though? Why is this a wish fulfillment for the state of California? Page of Coins. This was going to affect somebody's financial standing. Knight of Coins. Yes, this was going to slow down somebody's money. This was going to majorly affect somebody's financial standing. Seven of Swords. Bottom of the deck. Seven of Swords is being sneaky, deceptive, doing things in underhanded ways. And as you can see, this is a scroll. So they were doing deceptive, sneaky things allegedly through the law. Page of Cups. Now, Page of Cups is coming forward with small communication. Okay. Page of Cups is also, hold on, my spirit guides literally just said coercion. There's some kind of small communication that was had, and I'm definitely going to preface this with allegedly, but there was some small communication that was had with someone from this side of the court about how this could affect everything financially. They were concerned about the blowback on something. 5 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. There's a secret fight here. Look at this. I always read. I don't just read what hits the table. I read as I shuffle. Because if it is what it is, it still hits the table. As you can see, this is a poisoned apple. Apple has been altered. This fight, justice. So that means possible evidence has been altered. So that's why my spirit guides were saying coercion. Allegedly, they were contacted by an outside source because this affects something very, very large outside of this case. Okay? We're talking about outside of Tory, outside of Megan. This affects somebody of major standing, and it was going to possibly bankrupt this person or definitely bring everything in their life to a crawl if they had to step forward and apologize. Page of Coins. This was going to expose something way bigger than what happened between them. So they had to come together, allegedly, and come up with a plan to clean up this spill that was best for whomever this outside party is that was going to be affected financially. So now I get the whole rolling in the mud. They muddied the water about what we know about a fight. So this is why they omitted the fight in court, why the prosecution never spoke about the fight. Because remember, the witness Sean Kelly stated that the women were fighting. One of the women grabbed the weapon and allegedly through his eyes, he's saying that he saw Tory grab the woman's hand. Their hands were in the air when, he said that there were shots. The hands was in the air. The rest of the shots went off in the air. So it's looking like they didn't talk about the fight because the fight would have led to what actually happened. They purposely did not discuss that there was a fight. They purposely overlooked the fight because the fight would have explained everything else that happened. Looks like we about to find out about this fight if this goes back to court too. 3 of Cups, 5 of Swords. So, like I said, the argument, they didn't allow us to know the full argument or the fight that led to this whole situation, because 3 of Cups is celebrating and it's also third-party involvement. So the third-party involvement came out while they were out partying. The initial third party, it was exposed due to Tory trying to flirt with a new third party, and his old third party got upset. And they're going to explain all of this in court. But it's looking like this is going to be a tower for the prosecution because they withheld pertinent, important evidence that would have changed the whole trajectory of this case. Wow. 9 of Wands. You see this? Nine of Wands, the wounded warrior to fall under the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is a wish fulfillment. Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior. So they're going to show that somebody actually intended to wound this person over this collaboration. Three of Wands. It's looking like they're going to prove that Tory actually saved Megan's life. Allegedly. The Chariot. Got Justice in the Chariot. So this is looking like there's going to be forward movement in a new case, and it's going to bring justice. Justice is falling under this Page of Coins. Like I said, somebody knew that this was going to cause all types of disruption financially. But they're going to have to apologize, because Page of Coins is apology as well. They're going to have to apologize, and justice is going to be served. The Chariot under the Knight of Coins. Okay? So, slowly but surely, this is going to move forward. Wheel of Fortune. Baby. Three of Coins under the Page of Cups. So we're going to show how this light-hearted communication, blah, 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 Tory flirting with Kylie, brought out this whole entire energy between these three parties. And this is going to be a 10 of Cups. This is going to be the ultimate wish fulfillment, because the truth is finally going to come out about this sneaky energy that the prosecution was working under when they were withholding information about this third-party energy. So, and it's what you see when they got the judgment. They got the judgment under false means, allegedly, guys. So this is going to be a heck of a lesson to be learned, because Tory is going to have to learn to govern himself in a more righteous way. He's going to have to really go deep within and trust God and be still and know that God is here, and God will correct this situation. It's going to change his whole outlook on how he maneuvers, how he handles things, the type of things he allows himself to be a part of. Megan, sweetheart, this is why you should have told the truth from the very beginning, because nobody's going to care about a swan song when it's all said and done. If this man actually gets his day in court for this second trial, you're going to be torn to shreds in the court of public opinion. Like, you're literally going to be considered a pariah, a fungus. Nobody is going to want you around. It's going to hit you hard. And it's not saying that her career is completely over, but it's going to transition in a way to where she has to transition out of music for sure. Because nobody's going to want to do shows with you. Nobody's going to want to have features from you. It could possibly be that people can take her off of features. And see, this is not the only thing that she's in court for. Megan has plenty of things that she's in court for right now. Prosperity. Yeah, there's going to be a reversal of the fortune. He's going to get his prosperity back. Yep, through a rebirth. If he does get a new trial, guys, look for, autumn to winter, fall to winter, for them to start announcing when this new trial can take place, because they're not going to just go straight to court. They've got to give both parties time to, rework the evidence in this case, create new discoveries. The Chalice and Fulfillment, Watchtower of the South this summer. So this is what's going to happen this summer. Looks like Tory finally got the right combination for his lawyer. I tell you that. This lawyer is coming in, baby. Yule, rebirth. He wants to give him his life back. Earth, grounding. So right now, this is what Tory is doing spiritually. He's becoming one with himself. He's getting in touch with who he really is as a person. He's grounding himself. And through him doing away with what doesn't work and keeping what does, he's also having a rebirth spiritually, mentally, emotionally. He's going to come out of this a whole different person. Herbal Kitchen, The Alchemist. They're going to show that there was trickery in this case. I don't know what this smoking gun is, but it's something very substantial. And if they do not acknowledge whatever this information is, this new development, there could be a federal possible investigation for miscarriage of justice, for possible coercion. So LA County, I believe that's the area. This courthouse is like right now is burning down in flames because they didn't expect this to turn around the way that it's turning around. And out of the many things that Tory could be guilty of, stupidity, one of them, the number one thing that he could possibly be guilty for, that doesn't mean that he should lose his whole life as we know it because he made a stupid decision to try to be, this ladies' man and disrespect people. Now, Megan, you can't be out here guiding people to be a hot girl, talking about how you a P, you a real P chick, you a player, and you in your feelings. Like you can't be a player and in your feelings at the same time. It just doesn't work. You got to pick a side. Chalice, fulfillment, coming right under prosperity. The Alchemist in autumn. I said they're going to show where somebody was playing around with the information and they were omitting evidence on purpose. Because they knew if everything was on the table, this case wouldn't have turned out the way it turned out. Secret Book of Shadows. Homeland and Foundation. You see that? Book of Shadows means manipulation. Goes right along with Alchemist. Secret. Somebody concocted certain things so that they could keep... My apologies, y'all. I stay on a busy street and my window is open. So yeah, somebody concocted something to keep other things a secret because they had to protect the foundation of things that were going to come to fruition and grow in the future. And Lady Goddess Feminine, It appears that this case is about this woman, but it's way bigger than this woman. This case tapped into tearing into a situation that was way bigger than what actually transpired that night. This is way bigger than this, this ghetto ratchet hood rat fight that went too far in the street, okay? Wick and Reedy, like I said, there is secret alchemy behind the scenes to help keep things under wraps. And I don't usually do anything in reverse, but this, I'm going to keep this way. Remembrance and ancestors. So they were trying to keep people from recalling what actually happened and digging up the actual clues and facts from that evening. Fire and passion. Somebody literally, they went as far as they can go and beyond to keep things a secret behind what really happened to this woman. Not because of her, okay, not because of Megan, but because what would happen to them once the truth came out. But they never expected that God was going to get involved. Lord God, masculine. They never expected that God was going to get involved. What they did was so egregious that God is now getting involved. They stirred the fires of the Most High himself. So I'm going to bring this reading to an end. Look at that. High priestess and high priest responsibility. This is who's responsible. Okay? The alchemist who's helping to keep the secrets of the wicked and Reedy by manipulating the ethers. Somebody who was deeply involved in, we'll say, mystic things, okay? Somebody who's deeply involved in mystic things use their influence and their know-how to block information. And, woo child, they had no idea that God himself was going to step in the room. So this is the end of this reading, and we're going to have to see how this plays out. But it feels like to me that Tory, excuse me, that Tory's going to actually have his day in court. And this time around, the veil is being lifted. So thank you for whoever is tuning in. God bless you all. I hope Tory learned his lesson. And I feel for Megan because if this case goes to trial for a second time, she's going to be completely obliterated on that stand. And there's no coming back from this. So, whew, that's that. And I just pray that the truth comes out on both sides of this case. Not just for Tory, but for both parties, because there are multiple lessons that need to be learned on both sides of this case. And if people learn their lessons, the growth and development will help them to become better people. This is way bigger than careers and lifestyles. You cannot use alchemy to change the course of somebody's path, especially if God wants this person to walk a certain path so that he could use them for the higher good. No matter what Tory is facing right now, God is going to use him somewhere down the line. I don't know if he's like a silent prayer warrior to people in the industry who the normal average person couldn't get next to, couldn't get to pray. I'm getting that energy. Like, he's able to speak to people who are afflicted, people who are hell bound, and give them hope. I don't know who he prays with or how that works, but that's what my spirit guides are telling me. And just for that alone, God is going to spin the block for him. But he has to still do the work to be righteous in his own account. So I'm wrapping this up here, and I'm going to go ahead and do, whatever I need to do to get my day started. And thank you once again for supporting me and my channel. And I'm going to pray that this does go back to court so that the whole truth and nothing but the truth can come out this time on both parties.